Hello, my friend. Welcome to Daily English Podcast. This is Walter, and I want to pause before we begin and truly recognize the gift of your attention. Out of all the things you could be doing right now, you've chosen to be here, listening, learning, and giving yourself this moment. That is a real gift, and I'm grateful for it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt blocked when trying to speak English? Maybe you've studied for months or even years. You understand grammar, you can read, you can write, but when the time comes to speak, everything feels slow. Your mind starts working in your own language. Then you try to translate each word into English. You want the sentence to be correct, but by the time you finish, the moment has passed. This is one of the most common struggles English learners face. It's not because you lack ability or intelligence. It's because your brain is trying to keep you safe. It doesn't want you to make mistakes, so it slows everything down. The problem is that this safety creates a trap. Overthinking and translating stop you from feeling free. Think of a child learning their first language. They don't think about grammar rules. They don't translate from another language. They listen, copy, try, and make many mistakes. But those mistakes are not barriers. They are bridges to fluency. You can do the same in English. The truth is, fluency is not only about vocabulary or grammar. It is about trust. It's about allowing yourself to speak even when you're not perfect. It's about building the habit of using English every day, not only in a classroom, but in real, simple moments. In this episode, I want to talk about the struggles that many learners face, especially overthinking and translating in the head. I'll share ways to start thinking in English directly, how to use daily practice, and how to bring English into your life in natural ways. By the end, I hope you'll see that fluency is not a faraway dream. It's built through small steps, taken consistently, with patience and courage. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions. You already have enough to begin right now. Why do we overthink so much when trying to speak English? The answer is that our brain wants control. In our native language, words come naturally. We don't stop to plan every sentence, we just speak. But in English, everything feels uncertain. We want to be correct, so we start checking every word in our head. Is the grammar right? Is this the best word? Will the other person understand me? These questions keep spinning in the mind, and instead of speaking, we pause and hesitate. Overthinking is like carrying a heavy backpack while trying to run. It slows you down, and it takes away the joy of movement. Real fluency is not about perfect planning. It is about trust. Trusting yourself to speak even when the sentence is not perfect. Trusting that the listener will still understand your meaning. Trusting that mistakes are part of the journey. Think of swimming. If you stand on the edge of the pool planning every move, you'll never feel the water. But if you jump in and begin to move, even if your strokes are not perfect, you will learn. Overthinking is like standing at the edge forever. The solution is to practice in small, safe ways where there is no pressure. You can begin by speaking to yourself about everyday actions. Say, "I'm making tea. The water is hot. I'm adding sugar." These short sentences train your brain to move from thought to speech without delay. At first, it may feel strange or even silly, but with time, it becomes normal. Each time you speak without planning too much, you are teaching your brain that it is safe. You don't need to be perfect to communicate. Slowly, you'll notice less hesitation and more natural flow. Overthinking is a habit, but habits can change. With daily practice, you can learn to let go, to trust, and to speak with more confidence. Remember, fluency grows not from heavy thought, but from gentle action repeated every day. Translating in your head feels natural at first. You know your own language well, so when you want to speak English, your brain starts by building the sentence in your native language. Then it tries to find English words that match. Finally, it arranges those words into an English sentence. This process seems logical, but it creates two big problems. First, it is very slow. By the time you finish translating, the conversation has already moved forward. Second, direct translation often sounds unnatural. English has its own way of building sentences. If you translate word by word, the result may not sound right, even if the grammar is correct. This is why translation can feel safe but actually blocks fluency. The solution is to begin thinking directly in English. That may sound difficult, but it can start with very small steps. Begin with short phrases that you use often. For example, instead of thinking, "I am hungry" in your language, and then changing it to English, practice saying, "I'm hungry" directly. Other useful phrases might be, "I don't know," "That's fine," or "I'm tired." These small blocks become automatic with repetition. Over time, they connect into longer thoughts. Another helpful method is shadowing. This means listening to a short sentence in English and repeating it immediately, like an echo. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but it's powerful. Shadowing trains your mouth and ears to work together without passing through your native language. Slowly, your brain begins to accept English as its own system, not something that always needs translation. At first, you may still translate sometimes, and that's normal. But with practice, more and more words will appear naturally. You'll notice yourself thinking, "I'm busy," or "That's interesting," without building the thought in your first language first. That's the sign that fluency is beginning to grow. The less you translate, the more free you will feel. How can you train your mind to think in English every day? The answer is not about long, difficult study sessions. It's about creating small, simple moments where English is part of your daily life. Imagine you are cooking in the kitchen. Instead of doing it silently, describe it in English. Say to yourself, "I'm cutting the tomato. The pan is hot. I'm stirring the rice." These sentences are short, but they connect real actions with English words. Or imagine you're walking outside. You can think, "The sky is blue. The road is busy. I see a man with a dog." These simple thoughts keep your brain practicing in English without effort. Another powerful habit is to ask yourself small questions in English. For example, what time is it? How do I feel right now? What's my plan for today? When you answer, even in short phrases, you are building the habit of using English first. This practice doesn't require extra time. It only requires awareness. Instead of waiting for a lesson or a speaking partner, you bring English into the life you already have. Some learners worry that speaking to themselves feels strange, but remember, nobody else has to hear. This is your private practice, your own safe space. And the more you do it, the more natural it feels. Over time, your brain begins to choose English automatically. You'll notice yourself thinking small thoughts like, "I'm late," or "That's nice." Without translation, that's a powerful sign. It means English is no longer just a subject you study. It's becoming part of how you think. And when that shift happens, speaking feels lighter, easier, and more natural. Thinking in English is not about pressure. It's about bringing the language into your everyday world step by step until it feels like a normal part of your mind. Fluency in English does not come from one big effort. It comes from many small, steady efforts repeated every day. Think of a plant. If you pour a large bucket of water on it once a month, it will not survive. But if you give it a little water every day, it grows strong and healthy. Learning English is the same. Many learners study very hard for a few days, then stop for weeks. This creates frustration because progress feels slow. The real secret is consistency. 10 minutes of listening each morning is better than 2 hours once a week. 5 minutes of shadowing every evening is better than nothing at all. These daily moments build a rhythm. Your brain learns best when practice is regular, not random. And daily practice also reduces stress. When you know you will return tomorrow, you don't feel pressure to be perfect today. You can relax, make mistakes, and keep going. If you miss a day, don't be hard on yourself. Just continue the next day. What matters is not perfection, but the habit of coming back again and again. Daily practice can be very simple. Listen to a short podcast while walking. Speak to yourself while cooking. Write a short note in English at the end of the day. None of these require extra time. They fit naturally into your life. With this habit, English becomes less like homework and more like a normal part of your world. Slowly, you begin to notice changes. Words come faster, sentences feel smoother, listening feels easier. All of this happens not because of one big study session, but because of many small ones. Daily practice may feel small in the moment, but it builds powerful results over time. Remember, my friend, fluency is not built in a day. It is built day by day, step by step, with patience and consistency. 2 simple but powerful techniques can change the way you practice: shadowing and self-talk. Shadowing is when you listen to a short piece of English, maybe a sentence from a podcast or a line from a video, and you repeat it immediately. You don't pause to translate, you just echo the sound, the rhythm, and the flow. At first, you may feel slow, but little by little, your mouth and ears begin to work together. It's like singing along with a song. The words may not be perfect at the beginning, but the rhythm becomes part of you. Even 5 minutes a day of shadowing can improve your pronunciation, your listening, and your confidence. The second method is self-talk. This is when you speak to yourself in English during your normal activities. For example, when you wake up, you might say, "I feel tired, I need coffee, today will be busy." Or, while cleaning your room, you can say, "I'm folding clothes, the floor is dirty, I need to wash the window." These simple sentences don't need an audience. You are your own practice partner. Some learners worry that this feels strange, but remember, it's your private training. The more you talk to yourself, the more comfortable you become. Self-talk helps you use English without waiting for a partner, a teacher, or a special situation. Together, shadowing and self-talk create powerful progress. Shadowing teaches you natural rhythm and pronunciation. Self-talk helps you connect English to your real life. Both methods remove the need for constant translation and bring English into your daily routine. They are simple, free, and always available. And the more you use them, the more you'll feel that English is not just something you study, it's something you live. One of the biggest fears for learners is making mistakes. Many people wait to speak until they feel ready, until they know enough words, or until they can speak without errors. But the truth is, that moment never comes. You will always feel a little unprepared. If you wait for perfection, you may wait forever. The only way to move forward is to speak now, even with mistakes. Mistakes are not failures. They are steps toward growth. Think of a child learning to walk. They fall many times, but each fall teaches balance. In the same way, each mistake in English teaches you something valuable. Maybe you learn a better word, maybe you realize a grammar pattern, maybe you understand how to explain yourself more clearly next time. Every mistake is a lesson, not a defeat. The fear of mistakes often comes from worry about what other people will think. But most listeners are kind. They care about your meaning, not about your grammar. They will understand you even if your sentence is not perfect. And if they correct you, that is a gift, not an insult. Each correction is a chance to improve. So instead of fearing mistakes, welcome them. Celebrate the fact that you tried. Remember, fluency is not about speaking perfectly. It's about speaking naturally, with confidence, even when errors appear. Each time you allow yourself to make mistakes, you remove a layer of fear, and as fear disappears, fluency grows. So don't wait for the perfect moment, my friend. Speak today, in your own voice, with courage. The final step is to make English part of your daily life. Too often, learners keep English locked in a classroom, a textbook, or a short study session, but fluency comes when you live with English every day. You can listen to podcasts while walking or cooking. You can watch shows with English subtitles. You can write short notes or lists in English. You can describe your feelings to yourself in English. These small actions surround you with the language. They help your brain accept English as something natural, not something separate. And the best part is, you don't need perfect conditions. You don't need a teacher every day. You don't need a speaking partner every hour. You don't need to feel ready. What you need is steady practice, small steps, and the courage to keep going. Over time, English becomes less like a subject you study and more like a friend you live with. When you wake up and think in English, when you describe your world in English, when you relax with English, you know fluency is growing. Remember, fluency is not built by one big leap. It is built by many small steps, repeated with patience. Speak a little today, listen a little tomorrow, shadow, repeat, write, and think in English. Each action may feel small, but together they create something powerful. My friend, you are already on this path. With time, effort, and trust, English will become part of you, not just something you learn, but something you live. That is the true key to natural, confident communication.